It's no shade, but Kalina, you a sellout, bitch.
Had the right to call me you a sister? Yeah. You a sellout,
No,
bitch.
no, bitch. A sellout.
Show.
Okay, a sellout.
I said
Sellout.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What's going on? It's the time. So time come to y'all with another video. We talking Diddy, The Reckoning, episodes 2 and no, episodes 3 and 4. Before I get started, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what y'all think about this video. I had to start off the video that way because at the start of part 3, you are really a sellout. I don't care what nobody say. Like, Kalina is a sellout because the way you sold Dawn out as if she's a simple whore, as if you were not around when things were going on, is crazy. All this docu-series really showed too, especially the ending, it shows that a lot of people were okay when the goings-on was going on, everybody was getting paid, but when things went left, everybody wanted to check. And I'm talking about Clayton, I'm talking about Kalina, I'm talking about Dawn. I'm just saying. It just really gagged me because Kalina really sat up there and she said, the relationship between Dawn and Diddy always, threw me for a loop. Like, they all had their like secret little sayings. Like, they would give each other looks. And like, what artist do you know basically asks a man how to basically be his girl? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, damn, you are a sellout. Like, what did Dawn do to Kalina? That's what I want to know. Like, what did she do to you, babes? Because did she owe you money? Was she the reason why Diddy Dirty Money broke up? If y'all don't know, that was at one point when I was younger, one of my favorite albums. And it's sad how everything has come about because now that we know this information, it's like we gotta enjoy that music in secrecy. Like, we can't be busting out loving you no more. I love you more than I love myself. Loving you no more. I just can't be loving you no more. I love you more than I love myself. We can't even sing that in peace no more because of you, mother. It's really irritating. Anyways, part 3 starts off with them talking about the beginning of Bad Boy, right? And then they start the video off, which this is the part that like it trips me out. The fact that the fact that 50 Cent was able to gather that that video footage of him before the arrest, whoever that is that's recording him was apparently another sellout that probably sold that footage to 50 Cent. Because how was he able to access him getting vlogged days before the arrest? We're talking 5 days, 4 days, 6 days before the arrest, him vlogging his way to the arrest. I found that to be so crazy because we were catching all this stuff in real time. So he's FaceTiming the girl. He's like, what's up, babe? I'm about to deposit like 200 million. You's gonna smile for daddy? Yeah, that's what I like. I want you to smile for daddy. Laugh for me, daddy. She liked that shit. I was just like, you old bastard. And by the way, I put this on my community post and I quickly deleted it. The more I watch it, the more this man is still living. I'm gonna tell y'all this. We all enjoy the shows every Sunday. The man is still here. The spirit took out of Diddy, it jumped out of Diddy and jumped into another man. He's very short. That's all I'm gonna say. It jumped out of Diddy and jumped into another man. It's like a traveling spirit of the diddler. I'm swear to God, the spirit of Diddy is still living and out and about and has a baby on the way. I swear to you. So they start talking about Bad Boys Records, and this way we start getting more confessionals from Kalina. I call it confessionals. I'm using a reality TV term. And also Aubrey, right? So they start talking about him getting richer and richer and the fame kind of getting to him and him thinking that he's God, him thinking that he's a godlike figure because he can tell people what they can and cannot do. They talk about him getting into criminal issues, the whole Steve Stout situation that he got into. And also the situation with the club, I think it was like Club New York with the J-Lo situation too. Which J-Lo, girl, you dodged the bullet, literally. Okay. Like you got up out of there quick. J-Lo ain't been with a black man since. All she been dating since is whites and Hispanics. She hasn't dated a nigga since. That nigga ruined it for her. I swear to God. It takes one bad nigga experience for a Latina or a white woman, and they're never going back. Let me tell y'all, I swear to God, that lady never went back, babe. And if she did, she probably did it on the low. She was never publicized with another black man since, from what I recall, right? So the Steve Styles situation, to me, I don't get why he did what he did, because for you to have thought that you being on a cross like your Jesus would have been okay is crazy. Of course, it's gonna make people mad. Of course, it's blasphemous as fuck. Like, you get mad at the man, and then you're the one who did it. It'd be one thing if it was AI generated, if AI existed back then, which it did at in a certain point, but not as much as it is advanced here to this year. You still were the one who was pinned on that cross. Nobody forced and put a GU into your head. You decided that you thought it was gonna be cool until Hezekiah watched it, and he probably had a nervous breakdown watching it. Oh, that is not the way of the Lord. And he told you ass not to do that, and then you panicked, and then you got it taken down. So for you to do that to the man was so diabolical, because once again, he didn't force you to do that. Like, you shouldn't have did it to begin with, and that situation would have never happened. So the whole Club New York thing, they talked about how like New York, the state of New York wanted him prosecuted so bad. So anything that he would do in that state, they would try to basically get him caught up because of all the stuff that he would get away with, because of the money he had and because of the power he had. Then came the reality version of making the band. And then they started with the whole cheesecake situation where, they made them walk like two different boroughs to be able to get that cheesecake. Then we have Aubrey O'Day, okay? Aubrey and her googly eyes, she reads an email. This Aubrey, she's like, so this is an email from Puff. I want you to be mine. I want you to be my slut. I want you to do what I want you to do. You be having dudes that you be telling them what to do. When you change your mind, I want you to come to me. That's what I want. Bad. And also, I'm jacking off right now. Mind you, he spells masturbating incorrectly. I noticed that. He spelled it with an ER, nasty ass. I'm thinking about you while I'm doing it. Smiley face. I'll hit you up later. Smiley face. God bless Diddy. Smiley face. So he puts all this in an email and then sends it to Aubrey. I'm glad she talked about this, because I feel like anytime Aubrey talks about Diddy, she doesn't have a lot of proof to back it up. Although I always have believed her because the proof is in the pudding, I've never seen her like vehemently come forward with documentation of all the things that he's done. So to see that was kind of like, this is concrete proof that he was low-key a perv towards her and was trying to come onto her, and he wasn't having it. Like, I mean, she wasn't having it. She was not willing to bite. Okay. I don't think Aubrey really down with the swirl, to keep it a buck. So I don't think he had a shot to even begin with, to be honest. And that email to be sent to include the Diddy is so diabolical and sick. To include the words masturbating and God in the same email is so crazy to me. The two don't mix. You ain't even supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be and follow the way of the Lord. Are you crazy? That don't go, babe. The nigga put Diddy, God bless. God is the greatest of them all. And then two spaces above, he talking about Jahan. I'm like, damn, this man did not care. Okay. So then we get to the whole situation with Kalina. This is why I say she's a snake in the grass, because I get you are telling your truth and you're saying that Dawn is or was at that point in time had a very weird relationship with him. But the way she went about it was as if she had nothing to do with it and they were just doing their own thing while she sat out there making her beats and saw nothing that was going on. Babe, you saw what was going on. You heard what was going on. You were in the presence of it. So please do not try to like exclude yourself from the weirdness because you were included in it. I could probably guess that he was probably getting topped off when last train to Paris was getting made, and you all were in the studio and y'all acted like nothing was happening. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Like, come on now. Just like in part one, he called this dude that was working for him into like a room while this girl was giving him top. And then he's like, "What did you want from me?" And he just wanted him to watch. So let's not act like, you weren't involved either. Like, it's just like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like the whole innocent, like, I don't do that. Like, they did their thing. That's so snake to me. And I don't like that. Like, you real life a snake in the grass. That is, I gagged when she said that. I'm like, whoa, okay. I see what game you playing. So, once again, I love me some Diddy Dirty Money. Like, that doesn't absolve all the Diddy Dirty, because I told y'all, that album is so good. I know like every song. Y'all gonna be like, damn, like I'm talking about word for word. I remember I had this MP3 player and I had every fucking song in that bitch. I even had the remixes, bitch. Y'all remember on SoundCloud when they remix a song? I had the ass on the floor remix on that bitch. I used to blast them up all, man. Anyways, so then came along Cassie, right? So Cassie came along with Ryan, which was a producer, and then Ryan disappeared. So you could kind of see his manipulation tactic in this docuseries because he wanted to isolate her, which that's what abusers do. They isolate you or they tie you down, more than likely with either marriage or a baby. They lock you down with that so then they can isolate you and they have forever ties to you and you won't be able to ever go anywhere. So that's what he did with her in regards to the music industry. He made Ryan go kaput. So anybody that was close to her probably had to get the fuck. So that way he could have full control. I'm talking all types of glam, stylists, musical producers, which included Ryan. So he had to go. And then they started working together. So throughout the docuseries, they would show her progression from how she started and then how she ended up, and then introducing Clayton, another one that I feel like is a little bit BS to me, because once again, you were all down for the get down when it was all good. You had no problems busting out the pickle. You get what I'm saying? You had no problem of your pickle getting tickled. You had no problem getting your pickle ducked down. Like you had no problem with it then. You didn't have enough of a problem to be able to try to do something about it. That's my whole thing. So for now, he's coming out saying all these nasty things that he's been through and all of that. You were having intercourse with him for days. Days. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he is coming forward and telling these stories, but please don't make it seem like you're innocent in anything, because you're just as a part of it that as anyone else, especially with the intercourse y'all would have. You're getting paid for it, my guy. There's no shade. So you can't really even try to shame him or shade him or embarrass him. Cause let's say if Diddy were to tell you, hey, keep stroking it, harder, 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 you would do it. I mean, like, I'm just saying, all right? You and your soup coolers need to stop. I'm just saying, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. So they talk about the escapades they would have, all the wild things that they would do, and then introducing the powder donuts. So how they would be able to last. We all know this throughout the court followings. Like we know this. Like all of the court followings that would happen, that we've seen play out throughout this year of, the powder donuts, the pink powder donuts, all of that type thing. Like we know this. So they just kind of regurgitated that information, even would put powder donut like chemicals in the baby oil. So that way it would make them even more, excited to be able to perform. He even says one incident where he was Clayton, we're talking about, aka Soup Coolers, was messing around with Cassie, and then he got jealous and joined in, and then ended up kicking her in the face because she laughed. Because he was like, "Oh, you think my package is smaller than his package?" Which Diddy looked like he got a small package. It's no shade. Like you could tell he got a chub. Just me guesstimating. Like it don't give like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell Soup Cooler is whipping something nasty over there. Like child, I know he was making Cassie go through a mission, girl. Oh my God. But the weird thing that he said, which was new info to me, and I followed the case, the whole semen situation, he said that Diddy would keep it and keep his pina colada. We're gonna call it that for YouTube purposes, because I don't want to say too much crazy words on here. They would keep his pina colada and keep keeping the pina colada for over a year. And this is why anything he says to me, you could never shame Diddy, because how are you letting somebody keep your pina colada? How do you know they're not over here taking your pina colada and going and making other babies with it and selling it to other people for a year? Girl, bye. It wouldn't have been me. That's why I would have had to draw the line, because you might have some illegitimate babies out there in the world and you don't even know it, because you out here giving your pina colada. And how much pina colada were you giving them? Because it sounded like you would give them a tub's worth every time. Because he had asked them at one point, he like, "Hey, what y'all doing with my pina colada?" And then Diddy was like, "Oh, like, why you care? I just like my girl to play with pina colada. She likes the taste." And then Diddy was like, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, that's weird, but okay." And then they never asked him for the pina colada again. Y'all think that's weird? Like, I really want to know what he did with the pina colada, because I don't feel like it was just Cassie playing with it. I feel like other things were done with the pina colada. Okay, I feel like it was probably put in smoothies, and I feel like it was sold off. Now, the ending of it basically shows like the destruction of Cassie and all the women coming forward, and we got to see a real time reaction of him reacting to Don putting the Kalina doing the lawsuit on him, and basically his reaction. He's like, he actually did this too. He was like, he starts reacting to it. He's in the middle of the street. He starts asking these dudes, right? He's like, "Oh, what's up? You know Don?" The dude's like, "Who? Who?" He's like, "Yeah, I know, right?" "Don, that bitch dropped a lawsuit on me. You on my last album and you gonna put a lawsuit on me? Man, gloves is off." And he did that evil look in the mirror. I said, "Ooh, thank God he was proven guilty of something." Because Don, he was coming for your neck, Buka, but oh baby. Oh baby. Don better get some protection when he's released. No shade. That would be her best bet. Or say, okay, so now let's talk about the fourth part. Now, the fourth part, it made me feel a lot more sympathetic for Kalina. Now it made a lot more sense why she was talking the way that she did. I feel like the second and third part kind of made her sound crazy. So in this fourth part, she talks about how basically when he did end up getting arrested, because he did end up getting arrested in this fourth part, which they show days leading up to his arrest. She then asked him for, before his arrest, for money, because Kalina has been having this custody battle for a little bit. If y'all don't know, the whole dude that was on the Love and Hip Hop thing, they've been having a whole custody battle, and she's been dealing with that for a minute. And that, of course, costs money because of lawyer fees. So because of that, she asked Diddy for some money, and he did not even answer back, didn't even say yes or whatever, kind of left her hanging. Now, when it comes fast forward to the case, he wanted her to put out like a statement, right? And she was sort of scared because she felt like, oh my God, this statement, it made me lose custody of the child or whatever. She then even cried in a docuseries saying, like, oh my God, like I don't know what her experience was, but I didn't see none of it when I was there. My problem with Kalina is you can't say you didn't see none when you were there, but then you kind of alluded to it at one of the parts saying that him and Don had like some weird relationship where you kind of suspected someone was going. So it's like you can't allude to something and then say you weren't there. Like, which one is it? But I did feel bad for her when she started crying. Like you could tell that custody situation fucked her over. And I do feel like she's so appreciative of what Diddy did for her. So it's kind of hard for her to just turn her back on him, regardless of what he's done. Then we get introduced to Capricorn, this last fourth part, which of course we all know about her. If you've been following the trial, we all know who Capricorn is. I'm talking about in the sense of this freaking docuseries. So Capricorn, first of all, she to me, I feel a ways about. Like I kind of like feel bad for her, but then again, I don't. A small part of me doesn't. Just a small part of me doesn't. Just because I feel like had this not all come out, she would have never said anything. And that to me is kind of not right. Like you would have like it's as if she wanted to keep faking the funk, but she says it too. Like she was like, y'all have me kind of reliving my trauma, and I don't appreciate that. Y'all have me reliving my trauma. But my whole thing is, aren't you glad though? Because if you were to take this to your dying bed, at some point in your life, this would have all regurgitated and it would have gotten to you. God forbid, let's say Cassie took her life, right? That would have made you feel sick because you would in your mind be thinking, damn, she probably took her life after all the stuff that she's went through with this man, which I was there for most of it towards the ending of it. Y'all get what I'm saying? So it's like it's kind of hard to feel bad for her. But I understand why she's emotional about it because she was reliving her trauma. She was basically having therapy sessions on the stand. Like they made her have a whole therapy session on the stand. So it's like I got it why she's emotional, but it's just hard to feel a little sympathy for her because you're kind of pitying yourself for telling the truth. Whether y'all agree Cassie had something to do with it or not, you're still pitying yourself for telling the truth. So she was introduced to Diddy, and Diddy ended up finding out that she was Suge Knight's baby mama's friend. And she got taken to the park one day by Diddy, and Diddy said, "You know I kill you, right? You're not where you stand." No, basically, he was like, "No, like if something happens, I'm gonna have to unalive you. So I just want you to know where I'm gonna unalive you. It's gonna be in this park. It's gonna be dark. Nobody's gonna know what's gonna happen to you, and that's just is what it is. Okay, so like, do what you got to do with that information. Okay." Now, after this happens, she talks about how she was around for a lot of abuse that would go on, and she was aware of it. Then we get to Rodney, and he's a producer. He starts talking about instances where he's in the studio, stuff going down. He's noticing some weird stuff. One day, a guy by the name of G gets unalived. He opens the door and then sees that Justin and Diddy ended up leaving. They were the ones who did it because during the studio session, he hears a so he thinking it's the beat. Okay, he think it was the beat drop. Meanwhile, a nigga got dropped. No, a nigga got popped. So then he opened the door. He see the dude. He was like, he's been around shoes before, so he grabbing towels and stuff. He's trying to, do some compressions, hold it to where the dude doesn't bleed out. The police comes, Diddy and them telling him like, "Hey, you better lie. You better not tell the truth, or else." So he goes along with it and doesn't tell the truth. And they make it seem like he didn't get pop out inside of there. This is what he's claiming, you guys, right? After that, the man G disappears. We don't even know what happens to him. I'm like, what? The fact that Diddy could make people disappear into thin air is like, it's so crazy to me. Like the fact that we just don't know where this man is to this day. Like you almost got unalived and you just disappear. You're no better than Megan's security guard. Like what the like it's kind of crazy to think about it. So then Rodney starts talking about how he once he got to Miami, he was sold to all these dreams when he was working around to Miami when he was producing the album Love. Now he insinuated certain things. Now on paper, it didn't sound believable, but him talking about it in person, it sounded a little bit more believable to it because then you got to put a voice and a face to what was being stated in the paperwork. Because if y'all don't remember, I did a video on it where I read the document of the lawsuit, right? He even insinuated some days he'll wake up sore and he would be in the bed or a girl would be in the bed and he didn't know what happened. I want to say somebody y'all gonna cancel me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did you check areas? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing to joke about. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make a joke about it, but I'm saying like this is what would make somebody question you, because a further question would be like, did you check yourself to make sure what places were sore? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like what areas were sore? Right? Because some people, I remember when it came out, they were thinking like, oh my God, some money grab. He just want money. He just want money. A lot of people didn't believe some of the accusations that he was saying in the lawsuit because they were like, oh, he's just after money. He's just after money. He's just hopping on the train. Y'all get what I'm saying? So then Cassie ended up suing, right? Cassie ended up suing. So that's when he decided to file his suit shortly after because he never received payments when the album dropped, which to me, that's the part of Diddy where I don't feel bad for him, because it's like, it's one thing to do and abuse these people, but like, you're not only abusing these people allegedly, you're financially stealing from them. So it's like you're doing a triple whammy. Like you just getting over every way. You get what I'm saying? You getting over in every single way. It doesn't even matter. Like you just have your way. You just doing what you want. You been no better than fucking Natalie. Like, damn nigga. You feel me? At least if the weird stuff was gonna go on, make sure at least the people are compensated correctly. But the fact that they weren't compensated correctly, they left with trauma, wounds, all of that, and they're isolated from their fam, and they're isolated from the industry once they're out of it is crazy. Okay. My question to Rodney is though, had Cassie not sued and had Diddy gave you your money, would you have came out and did this docuseries, or would you have came out and spoken out at all? I don't think so. And that's my problem with some of these people that were around him, because it was all great and well when the money was going good. Then all of a sudden, when things are falling through and the money not going good, y'all mad. And it makes people question. And this is why I think the jury was so tainted, because we're going to get to the jury. Because this docuseries proves the jury was tainted. This docuseries proves that the jury was looking online at certain things and believing certain things and forming their opinion off of what they were hearing, not only online, but also just through Diddy looking at them in certain ways. Just from my opinion, what I gathered. Okay. So that's just how I feel about Rodney. I do think he's telling a lot of truths. I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. So Aubrey ends up meeting, Aubrey ends up reading an affidavit where a woman claims that she walked into Aubrey being assaulted, and Aubrey read it out loud. It was pretty like descriptive, talking about how it was Diddy and a big light-skinned man, and the big light-skinned man, had their way with her. She described it in detail and went on in detail about it, right? She says the reason why she didn't want to go forward with it legally, she feels scared because if they prove her to be lying, they're going to prove everybody else that they're lying. Something to that effect that she said, which I kind of get, but it's sort of like if something like that were done to you, like, I don't know, like, you're not going to get away with it. I'm sorry. Like, no, 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 and no. Okay. No. Like, what the heck? So I guess she was so out of it that the lady claims that she's not even going to remember. It was a cold night in 2005, she claims. Then fast forward to Diddy getting arrested. Before he gets arrested, he's pulling out receipts. He's trying to get an editor, which I'm telling y'all, the person behind that camera is the person who sold the footage to 50 Cent. Ain't that some shit? Like, I was like, wow, you were the real traitor all around this man. So apparently he was trying to get people to put up clips of him talking greatly about him. So that way it could kind of make Don look like a liar. This is why you got to be careful with what you say and how you big up people online, because it could very come back to bite you. So he was trying to get people to like get clips and like clip it together. He's like, oh, you an editor? You an editor? Okay, cool, cool, cool. He's trying to get people to put stuff together. And then fast forward, he gets arrested. So then when he gets arrested, that's when they talk about the Kalina part. So of course we all know he called Kalina like a bajillion times. This was all over the press. So a lot of the ending of this docuseries was a lot of the stuff that we saw play out this past year due to the trial, right? So when she reached out to Diddy, Now, when Diddy reached out to her and then she reached back, she basically said, like, I'm scared to say something because I don't want to lose custody of my kids because I'm already in a custody battle. So this could end up really bad for me. So he replied back, he's like, oh, I understand, Don. I understand, Kalina. You feel me? I don't want to, I fuck with you on some real GGG because I fuck on some real GGG shit. You feel me? Kalina's like, yeah, I fuck with you. She like seasoned, she's shaking. You feel me? Because it's like she's so grateful for what he's done for her career that he's like, she started like shaking and crying and stuff like that. But he was like, oh, he understand, her not like putting out a statement. But she did end up putting out a statement on Twitter. So I don't know if he wanted a formal statement or just something on social media. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, it's a statement nonetheless. So that's why a lot of people were accusing Diddy of paying her off, which it kind of coincides with the whole custody battle that she was dealing with. So I'm pretty sure she got a pretty hefty check, which makes me question Kalina's character. But as a parent and her wanting custody of her children, how that song go, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do because nobody else can do. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do because nobody else can do. Like literally, that's why she did what she did. Okay. She wanted a coin. That's what it really was about. I don't even think you could tell she didn't really want to do it. She want to put her hands in the pot. Right. Now let's get to the jury. The jury to me was polluted. The jury to me was manipulated. The woman who was the black juror, you're a hypocrite because the person behind the camera asked you, the producer on the docuseries said, did Diddy try to turn around and look at you and basically stare and try to get to persuade you? She said no. But then later on in the docuseries, she said that every time that a witness on the stand would say something that wouldn't make any sense, he would then turn around and be like, can you believe this shit? Or not, and be like, yeah, that's the same thing. What? That's even worse than staring. Like, that's why the judge spoke up. Regardless of how you guys feel about how his verdict went, and how much time he's going to be spending behind bars. That's literally why the judge did what she did. And basically, the judge did what they did and basically told him to stop turning around and looking at the jury. That's the same thing. Because he's making sure that the jury is peeping what he's peeping, which is kind of like a form of intimidation or manipulation. Because if they're not peeping it, you're gonna be like, see, ain't that crazy? Like, he was doing a lot of that, like, like you doing a whole lot of that. Come on now. To me, the black woman jury, the juror was polluted and manipulated, and also the Indian man. The Indian man said he didn't even believe Capricorn. I said, damn. Were you there, fuck nigga? Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, she out here crying and spilling her heart out, and then you don't believe it. I will say, though, what makes Capricorn questionable is what I stated earlier, is because you were not willing to tell the truth because you said for the love of the culture. The fuck? What kind of is that? The love of the culture. Basically, she wanted to keep a facade to be able to stay in the industry. That's what it gave to me. You wanted to stay in the industry, be part of the industry, so you cover things up so that way things will be able to keep going forward and things would be able to be okay. That's what it gave. Now, Kirk's testimony to me was the saddest. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't cry, but I felt so bad for the man. When he said that he was essayed by Diddy, my stomach turned. I said, Diddy, you are a sick, freaky frog. Like, that is nasty. Like, that's really nasty. Like, you just didn't, like, nobody was off limits to you, wasn't it? Like, really? He said it caused him homelessness, debt, all this stuff. He was basically ousted from the industry once he kind of bounced from Bad Boys, and he was really the backbone of Bad Boys. Had it not been for him, a lot of things would not have came about. It's just sad how his story turned out, and I do feel like he needs the most justice because he seemed the most genuine. He didn't seem like he had any underlying intentions. He wasn't talking in an exploitative type of way. He wasn't talking to try to give us a good key, a good gag. He was just telling us literally what happened from beginning and That's it. That's it. So, all in all, the docuseries was very good. 50 did a great job with this. No shade. He did a really, really good job. What was funny though was Diddy walking on their treadmill, and then you get a glimpse of, have you ever been swallowed? Have you ever been swallowed? Okay, you see that good old TD right on that damn screen. That got me every time. That fit, let me tell you, even though it was a great docuseries, that 50 is a petty nigga. He made sure to give a glimpse of that every time. You would just see TD on the damn screen, and then you see Diddy walking on the treadmill like, and I'm he ate that. He ate that up. He ate that up. Like every time he would do that in the docuseries, I kind of keyed a little bit because it's like, that shit funny. It was funny as hell. Okay. Let me know what y'all think down below about all of this, you guys. Do you guys believe that he should have been proven innocent in all of the charges just due to what was presented? Do you guys feel like he should have been proven guilty in all of the charges? I do not think he should have been proven guilty in all of the charges just due to the fact that what the man said, the juror, the Indian man said, was partially true. It's hard to prove somebody guilty for something that a woman kept going back to. Although a woman can be manipulated and can be, you know, coerced into doing certain things. It's different when years down the line, when they're even out of it, there's communication with him. Because at one point she communicated with him when she was way out of that whole situation and said the I love you situation. So it's like, that doesn't make anything better. So in the jury's eyes, when they see all of this and they don't know his character, they're going to automatically assume he's not guilty just to her constantly going back or initiating certain things. That's what made the jury come to the decision that they made. But if you were somebody like me who's been following Diddy for forever and kind of know his character, you would assume and you know, go with that guilty verdict because you know his character and you know he's not the best person. So that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think down below about this, y'all. I give this docuseries a good 10 out of 10. Very informative, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. And we out, babies.